This is Lauren Poor, and I will be demonstrating my Week 3 submission, the Adversarial Red Team. What we're looking at first is our repository here, and you'll see that we have our documents, the architecture, the threat model, and the users. Next, we have our evals folder that contains our test cases, so we'll look at those momentarily. We have the test case series, the 200 cases that I developed for the MVP and have not changed. So to note here is that each of the categories have the descriptions of how the test cases operate, and our keys here, which are used throughout our testing to make sure that we can cross-reference. Moving on to our reporting, we have all of the test cases have their own vulnerability reports, so we'll take a look at AC001. With this particular vulnerability report, we see that it creates a severity medium in the event that it causes any kind of successful attack. The outcome was a success, meaning, and I'm still using this definition throughout the test usages, a success means that the attack was successful. However, it has been fixed, and we see the status here that it's been remediated on the system under test. For further detail, we have a security impact here and expected safe behavior, and recommended mediations in case there is a regression. Okay, so now we're looking at the documents folder. It's where I keep any other documents that don't necessarily go anywhere else in the repository. We have our AI cost analysis here. One thing I'd like to point out to start with is that for the MVP, I did not specify models for my agents, since I have run a cost analysis on the most effective LLMs to be used for each of our agents, and I've specified it here as well as in the architecture document. So we see our campaign mixes, the scale table. Moving on to our architecture document, here is our context diagram that has been expanded since the MVP submission. Notably, the addition here is the operator console, which was not noted before, and we'll see that in a moment. The persistence database has been expanded. It, as promised before, it was going to be implemented in SQL, and it has now been done. There is also a ticketing capability, which I'll demonstrate during the demonstration of the application. We persist here in using the sidecar as the target with the open EMR out of scope. One more thing I'd like to note as part of the architecture document that I won't go over in the interest of time, but here are the operational requirements that, the optional requirements that I reviewed. Here referenced for in case there's any interest. So we have the Agent Forge console deployed in Railway. And here is a web application. So I have 3 different applications that a user can run. Synthetic cases, which is a vulnerable system, synthetic cases for a hardened system, and finally the live. I've run all of the cases before this video because they do take quite a bit of time. So we're looking here at the vulnerable cases, and we see that we have created 3 partial but no successful attacks. Moving on, we have our synthetic against a hardened system, and we find that we have 39 partial attacks but nothing successful. And finally, we have the live campaign, and going down to the bottom here, we see there are 0 successful attacks, and this is borne out by the fixes implemented during the MVP phase of this application development. Okay, finally we have, going back to the results roll up, we have our tickets here. So we're looking at how the tickets are developed, the timestamp of the run, who it's sent to. We have our token spend here. And finally, my how-to that I've added in case there is any ambiguity on how to run anything I've developed. And that's it. Thank you very much.